Run that shit.
Let's get it! Episode 26 of the Talk Free Podcast. I go by the name of Glorious Sin.
DHPOV.
Show off. I'm here. You know. What up?
What y'all niggas got, man? What's up?
Man, listen, man.
What's going on in this world, man?
I ain't really know that dudes was that nice though at ball. Like, I don't understand how some dudes don't be making it to the league, but they're unstoppable anywhere else though.
The NBA,
like,
the NBA.
I feel like there's dudes on the bench that are trasher than dudes that we've seen in person.
Nah, I think niggas in the league, you got
connections.
It's just the best of the best. Like, if you think about it, the league, every team only has like 10 to 12 people. That's true. So that's not a lot of. It's not like a lot of people that play in the league.
It's not like the NFL.
Right, which means is you got to be the best.
It's still 32
of
teams,
the best.
but it's like 60 people on the team, plus the practice squad.
I'm talking about the NFL.
That's what I mean.
See,
like,
yeah, the NBA ain't got no practice squad
chances.
because basketball is all about skill. NFL is about will.
Right.
You could be the most skilled player, but you don't get no burn because you don't got the will. Like, you got to.
You might be a tough player to practice against.
Right, basketball. You don't have to have any. You don't have to care about being. You don't have to care about basketball at all and still be the shit. You can. There's niggas that smoke weed and play bad. Like, they get caught. Like, they get drug tested and, you know what I mean, smoking weed, playing basketball. Sure. Like, it's all about skill. You could be skilled and not really give a fuck and be that nigga. So what I say is basketball, you ain't making the league unless you got extraordinary skill or extraordinary athleticism, or you just got the heart of a lion, like a Patrick Beverly. Like, he got the heart of a lion. Like, he'll probably fight a lion. If a lion was in his crib, he would fight.
Yo, and he gonna be barefooted too at that.
Oh, yes, and he might win, dog.
Yeah, he might
with his
win.
hands.
Patrick Beverly might win.
Yeah,
so
his bare hands.
That's kind of
playing no fucking games, bro.
Yeah, that's just what the league's about. But all right, fuck that. Y'all seen that shit that was going on in Charlottesville and shit?
Man. Yo, that's what I definitely wanted to get on that.
Let's get into it, man. Because listen, what they was arguing about taking down the Robert E. Lee statue.
They was talking about taking a statue down.
They were talking about taking a statue down.
Which is Robert E. Lee was the Confederate the leader of the Confederate, which lost the war.
I don't care about the
statue.
statues, to be honest. I don't see the thing that don't bother me because that's been there. You know what I mean? What bothers me is just the symbol of the flag itself.
The Confederate flag.
The Confederate
flag. But that's
flag.
what he stands for. So he is the flag.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, that shit's been there. Like, why we want to make a fuss now about the statue? My thing is this. It's about them trying to march around like shit is sweet.
Well, they marching it down. They was marching around because we were trying to take it down.
But the thing is, they trying to say that the flag is American and taking it away is un-American. But at the end of the day, when the Civil War was happening, South was not trying to be a part of America.
No,
they wanted to be their own.
They wanted to run shit their way.
That's why they had that flag. You
the
know
Confederate.
what I mean?
It was the Confederate flag and the American flag.
Yeah. So why are people saying like it's un-American? They didn't want to be a part of America, and they obviously do terroristic things when they kill people with the KKK, that Nazi shit,
neo-Nazi, which is crazy stuff. Because the United States fought against the Nazis. So you would think American way would be like fuck the Nazis.
What's going on?
But here's the thing. Here's what I came to the conclusion as.
What is going on?
All these neo-Nazi niggas, one of two things, a couple of things happen. They either got their mom, their sister, their job, or their spot on their sports team taken by a nigga.
Right.
They don't want their country back. They want their bitch back.
Right.
None of these niggas seem like real neat, like the ones from the movies that look like real neat. Yeah, these dudes just look like, y'all taking all our bitches, y'all taking our jobs, y'all taking our spots on the golf field. We want our shit back. Like, they don't even seem like
we
they
don't
hate us.
To compete. We don't even compete. Y'all competing against each other.
They look sad. Like, they didn't even look like.
Right. And if we ain't got the money to manage y'all, we out of it.
They didn't even look like, I want my country back. I hate y'all.
They
It was like
nerds.
y'all bleeding us dry.
They look like nerds.
Yeah, bro. And if you think about it, the silver lining I seen in this was that the people fighting against them, what skin complexion were they?
White.
Mm-hmm. Even though now this could be for political gain, but Mitt Romney, all these other politicians came out and was like, yo, this shit is drawing. Like, this is not. So the thing is, it seems like, now granted, Trump had played a lot to do with like the uprising of these type of groups, but
yeah, he did.
It's such a small amount of people that think the way they think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
media blows it up.
Right. It seems big. Now, it is fucked up that it even
affects everybody.
Feels like they can come. The scary part is they feel like they can come out without a mask on. Like they feel that empowered that they don't even got to wear the KKK shit no more. They can just show you their face and go to work the next day.
But you know what it is though? Like you said, Trump made this shit okay. He made it okay to make them feel comfortable doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like they wasn't doing it before, but these same people are the same people, like you mentioned, that work with you. These are your neighbors.
Facts.
These are the people that went to school with you. So at the end of the day, I mean, somebody made a post on there like, yo, if you involved or you support this shit in any way or talking about your family, I can't fuck with you.
Right, and there's ways
Right.
to handle it. Like they're gonna take the statue down. Okay, they don't gotta trash it. Just put it in the museum and say this was a statue. It was here, and
a
this
part
is
of
why it
history.
was taken down.
Yeah.
That's a part of American history.
was a part of
Moving
American
on
history.
and compromising both sides. You know what I
Facts.
mean? You can't just
They can protest and say not to take the statue down, but when you bring race in it,
right.
They start
as far as
beating-
talking about
start
white
beating people.
supremacists and all that,
Yeah,
that's the
and-
disrespect. Because at the end of the day, I salute all them people who had to go through the slavery and all that. Like you know, to be not saluting them, but I'm just saying like I appreciate what you went through for me.
Yeah, because
But
they
if
had
y'all
no
think
choice.
that shit is going down right now, I'm telling you right now,
It's gonna be a civil war.
it's gonna be crazy.
It's not even it is not even close to like if you take 10 white people out of a room, 5 of them at least are gonna say y'all motherfuckers is drawing. So think about it. Not only would it be all the black people, it would be 50% of the white people.
Right,
At
right,
least.
right,
I think it will be like 60,
It's
70%.
just like we don't know who.
That's the scary part is
Yeah,
we don't know
we don't know who.
So
And
they
then-
feels
they
that
come
way.
blend in one day and they
Right.
they can really infiltrate.
Infiltrate.
infiltrate,
Right.
let you know,
Yeah.
set it up, and then try to take out millions. It only takes
Yeah.
one to mess up one thing. So you gotta be careful. But what made me mad about it is when it first happened, right? Because this shit happened like it started last week in Virginia, right? When it really started, they didn't make a big deal about it. You didn't hear about it on TV and all that. But my boy Kaepernick can't even get signed to a football team,
Right.
Because he's kneeling down or he's taking a knee.
And
That's what he believed in. And I didn't know in 2008. We didn't even have to come out for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
So we don't know who was really standing or saluting when
Right.
the flag was.
And I feel like all these battles that's happening, Trump versus the people, Kaepernick versus the people,
Yeah.
I feel like it's all just the same battle, but just different titles. Black or, just like that, the black culture versus the white culture.
I don't want to
just
say
like,
it's the same battle. I feel what you're saying. I don't want to say it's the same battle. I find it disrespectful, especially when you bring up the Kaepernick shit, because this man has been going through everything he had to go through, but we're making it seem like it's okay for this white supremacist stuff to come out. We're not frowning upon it. Our leader, Trump, is not making it seem like it's a bad thing. When he apologized, he didn't even apologize. He said, I think it's wrong on both ends.
sides, yeah.
Who the hell are you talking?
Yeah,
well, yo,
right,
how
why?
is it
How
wrong
is
for
that-
us?
Right.
But then when we act aggressive, it's an issue.
Yeah.
But that's such a disrespect based off of what
Right.
we've been through. He could have been like, you know what? That should have not happened. And as a leader, we should definitely, stand against them. We are united. We
They
are
should have
one.
focused on made them terrorists. You know what I mean? But if it was a bunch of black people, they would have called them terrorists.
Terrorists. We can't walk around with torches. They had torches on the campus.
And was shouting.
And guess what? Cops would just stand down. When it's up to us, it's one person, and y'all shooting and killing us. They would have had a massacre out there if it was us.
Right.
So I'm saying at the end of the day, it's a lot of, stay woke. That's been the quote.
And Max
Stay
Kellerman
woke.
said, "Why isn't there any if there's how many white players in the league? Why isn't there any standing behind Kaepernick and saying he's right?"
Nobody wants to fuck up their money.
Yeah, that's
At the
what
end
it
of
is.
the day, I don't even now. I'm not saying race doesn't play a factor. I mean, I think that's two totally different things. Like the Trump not denouncing the white supremacist shit is because Trump don't give a fuck, and he might think the same way they think. Like I don't think that's.
But you see
Anything-
how it's
the-
always been a one side versus one side. Like every month, it's been cops versus the people. It's been Democrats versus Republicans. It's been white versus black. It's been terrorists.
That's what the country
versus,
was built off of. It started off Cowboys versus Indians.
Yeah,
Like it's
true.
always about like
cops and robbers.
small little wars and battles. Like the country's built off battles. It continues to thrive off wars with Iraq and taking the gas
And all this stuff brings us to social media and what they do, put ads in our face. There's money, man.
But they were saying it's crazy because if you go to the Huffington Post website to where they're denouncing this white supremacist shit, but when you want to go to click on the video, you got to watch an ad first. So everything is about money. So I even think like that Kaepernick shit,
They made a video. I don't mean control, but they made a video on Vice. On HBO,
I didn't see. I heard of it. Yeah.
That shit came out within 5
Yeah.
hours of it came out the same day of that Charleston
Yeah.
stuff. They
Yeah.
went there, they recorded everything.
It was a documentary
And that
of what,
night,
the white
They had a
supremacy?
documentary made up
Yeah.
of what happened in Charleston.
Yeah.
Because they already knew it was going to happen. And you know where they went? They went to Virginia. I don't know if you know, Virginia is the original
Yeah, civil
state
wars.
of slavery.
And
so they
Civil
went to the
War.
home. Yeah. And they were nationalists. So these are people who don't even live in Virginia. These niggas probably been planning this for like
Yeah.
Well, because it
Years.
started when the whole we got to take the Confederate flag thing go down, right? So
when was this? That was
that was a while ago. It was like last year sometime, or maybe even before that. But I think the reason why I got into why it got bad is because then the other people was like, nah, y'all not gonna just become and stand behind this Confederate flag. Now we protesting against y'all protesting, and that's when it became violent. Like it wasn't violent if it was just the people just protesting, like, no, y'all shouldn't take the Confederate flag down. That's when the opposing side came and said, nah, motherfucker, like this has nothing to do with America. Y'all saying Nazi and like America fought Germany. Like that is crazy. Like it's so backwards. Like y'all say y'all American and get out of our country. Well, our country fought Germany, and then
What's
like,
the difference between a Jew and a Christian? Like, what's really the big difference?
I don't. I honestly, I don't think I'm qualified.
Why do they hate Jews?
I don't not even.
why do America hate the Jews?
Why does Germans?
Whatever
why
them
the Germans
people,
hate
whoever them
Jews?
people.
Oh, the Germans hate the Jews. It's something deeper than that.
Neo-Nazis,
It's no different
them
than why
neo-Nazis,
do
them
white people hate
KKK
black
people hate Jews
Why do white people hate black people?
because of their skin color.
Yeah,
but
well,
Jews,
Jews
are the
had
same
long
color.
nose and they supposedly were like so good with money, and I think it was threat. I think it's no different. You're threatened. You're threatened. Like all these neo-Nazis and all these motherfuckers protesting, they're threatened by.
They're dumb.
They're threatened. Yeah, probably because they're dumb. Maybe that plays a factor. Because think about it. Like it goes back to what we were saying 2 or 3 episodes,
They
two or
just
three
want to
episodes
be
ago.
on some Viking shit. I want to take you, rape your wife, make her work for me. You work for me, and I just do whatever the fuck. That's what they want to do.
No, what it is none of these motherfuckers even know what it's like to have slaves. First of all, half of you motherfuckers ain't rich enough for slaves. What fucked up is only like 2% of the world even had slaves during slavery. The rich motherfucker had slaves, and the poor white folks was poor white folks. And the reason why they like slavery is because even though they was dirt fucking poor, they can still say they was better than a black person. So what happened is once black people got free, now those poor white people became the bottom of the barrel. No, not even you're the same. Because the black people
Worked hard
because they had that but
They had the skill,
They had
yeah.
the skill. These people was dirt poor.
Right.
They couldn't compete with the slave owners because the slave owners got free labor
And
and
sometimes
fast
they
labor.
work for the slave owners.
Sometimes
too.
they had this for literally nothing. Like there
Right.
was people who were basically
Right.
white slaves back in the day
Right.
too.
And I mean, it's the same thing today. That's why I feel like even in the workplace sometimes, like jobs I've worked at, you work beside a white person and they feel like I shouldn't be here. I should probably be above you. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's just how America's instilled it in us, that the black person is kind of below the white person. But at the end of the day, we've always seen that, no offense, but, you know, a black person kind of works a little harder.
Right.
And sometimes it's sad to say I do feel like we work harder, but I really think it's just that as black people we had to establish a skill set. It was upon us. We didn't have an option.
Right. No,
You know,
right.
like some people were privileged, and when they say privilege means you already had things already for you. You don't have to
right.
work for shit.
Right.
We had to work for it, and our parents, most of our parents, try to give you that skill set, whether it was hustling. The
Right.
streets, where we come from, it's so even niggas who sell drugs, you might that's not a skill set. It is a skill set because
Oh,
we had to
yes.
learn how to hustle
Right,
and get that
right,
money.
right.
We had to learn how to have the street smarts not to get psyched out. So I just feel like for
It's
us,
still stuff you have to learn.
yeah, we got skills, and that's the thing that they don't have.
Right.
Hey, how are you? You want some? Yeah, we got food in here. You want some chicken? We're cooking. All, everything for them was easier.
So they didn't have to establish
Yeah,
that
they didn't have to.
quote unquote hustle. And like you said, like we had to quote unquote learn how to hustle because it was like, all right, now slavery's abolished. Figure it out. Like it was no real reparations. Like there was probably I read a little bit about it. There was some small shit that was supposed to be assisted, but it wasn't nothing impactful to where it was like, okay, here's how you actually survive in the world when you don't have a master. So all we had to just figure shit out, like you said. And we had to do sometimes illegal shit because we didn't know how to do anything. So we had to do just what seemed to make sense. Oh, motherfuckers like this. Oh, let me try to find this and sell it and flip it and do things like that. So that's why we have some of those. But that's what made us like you said, quote unquote, more skilled or hustle more. And now there's the certain demographic of white people that was in that march probably aren't that successful. They're the white people that was like, man, back in the day, we could just own somebody and life was quote unquote easier.
That's what they
It's not
see.
even really about like, oh, I think you're lesser than me. It's just like, man, like back in the day, I could just own you and my life would just be easy.
Yeah.
I wish I could live that way.
Right.
You white motherfuckers, don't know shit. Like, you don't even know. Like,
Even know
none of
how
you
hard it
niggas
was
could
to-
even
to-
afford a
to-
fucking slave. So
or
you
to
motherfuckers
keep-
wouldn't even be a slave owner.
Or to have that mind frame that I'm gonna kill somebody if they don't. You know what I mean?
You
Do
motherfuckers
it.
is scary.
Or to be able to fight a fucking
But-
a big ass black man who's mad as shit at.
But the thing is, they know they can't. And at the end of the thing, it's just like, stay woke is all I keep saying that because it's some real ass shit. Like, that slavery stuff was crazy because we didn't know at first. We didn't know. We knew we could fuck them up, but we didn't have that plan. But
and they was killing your family.
remember Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, but they snuck in. That's how they was getting people. They snuck in with that priest stuff. You know, bless you. You know, they it was like welcoming. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They welcome you just like you welcome somebody in your house.
Get
then,
out.
Then they sneak in.
The movie
then-
Get Out.
Yeah, you feel me? So that's how they
And
did
they
it.
had weapons.
And they'll
I mean,
threaten your
simple as
family.
that.
They had-
I'm
they
gonna
had
kill your
weapons.
kids.
Now we all got
I'll
weapons.
kill your
gonna
kids.
kill
Let me fuck your
kids.
wife.
So
Yeah.
so they take you and you think I'm gonna get out of this, but you just never do.
Yeah.
So then but at the end of the day, they was saying that over here, is where majority of like black people were, like the Indians and stuff, that indigenous people were really black because they're saying that a lot of people didn't really make it on that ship.
Right.
Like people were really dying.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I'm
were
saying?
dying, famine, all that
So
type of shit.
how could they have populated so fast? They saying that there was people already over here that
Well,
they
they
were
bred
taking.
them too.
Yeah, that they were taking. They
I'm
came
sure, and I'm
over
sure they bred them with some Indians too.
This how they said. This how they said they.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They went over in Africa and took people. They came over here and did the same stuff. You know, peace be upon you.
Yeah.
All that Thanksgiving stuff, and then
Yeah.
they.
Slavery.
Yeah,
yes.
they started taking
Indians
people
was, I'm
into
sure
slaves.
Indians was. It wasn't
'Cause,
just African slaves. It
You
was
know,
Indian slaves
if
too.
you was darker than me,
Oh, yeah,
you're
you was
the
dark.
enemy.
Yeah, you was a
You're the
nigga.
enemy.
Yeah. And ultimately, it had nothing to do. From the get go, it had nothing to do with their skin. It had something to do with the fact that you weren't smart, but you guys look strong. I have like whether it could have you were
No,
just
but it
different.
did have to do with skin, though.
You were just different
But
than
it
me.
did have to do with skin though because they said
There were
that
white
once-
slaves back in the day.
I know, but it was harder to tell.
I'm
You know
talking
what I
about not
mean?
even in America.
Oh, I got you. I
If
got you.
if those black people in Africa
right.
had guns and money, do you think they would have still tried to make them slaves? No, because
Nah,
they wouldn't have been
didn't.
able
They
to.
didn't. You're right. They
You see what I'm
started
saying?
trading
So
guns and
yeah,
stuff.
it has something to do with the fact that they were black, but
Right.
it had more to sort of fact to do that
No,
we can
but
overpower
they said that
y'all.
people in Africa made guns, but they didn't use them to kill people. But the Vikings and stuff, they started using it for evil.
I'm just saying,
I
obviously they
don't
were
know. I don't
stronger
know.
because they put them on a boat. A lot of them got on the boat from Africa with chains. It's not
Right.
like you was on a boat and then they put the chains on
Right,
you.
but I mean, in America, there was already people here.
Right, but what about the people they brought over? They put them in
I think
shackles
they brought
over
them
there.
over here to because they knew they were distinct difference. Like these are black
So
people.
if they had bazookas and shit, do you think they would have been able to do that?
oh no,
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
I
So
got you.
so that
I got
okay,
you. I got
they
you.
were black,
So
but they
knew-
were black and kind of
And-
and not they
all
they
living
didn't
off of nature.
They didn't have what the
Yeah,
they didn't
I got
have
you,
what
I
they
got
had.
you, I got
So what
you,
I'm
I got
saying
you,
is
I got you.
if it could have been Chinese people.
Yeah.
If they was broke without guns, we was bringing you motherfuckers over. Now
I got
now of
you,
course
I got
I
you,
think
I
the
got
black thing played a factor because they were probably strong and they probably
Right.
looked like, oh, you're kind of like my horse.
Right.
Like my
Yeah.
horse is big and it can
Yeah.
pull shit.
Yeah.
You're big, you can
Yeah.
lift shit.
Yeah.
And you ain't got guns, I can
Right.
force you over here.
Right.
Trust me, if these black motherfuckers had the
It wouldn't have
I
happened.
don't know if it would have happened like
They would
that.
have took them niggas.
Yeah, I think it would have been more of a war. And if
Yeah.
we lost the war, then they would have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't
Nah,
I don't
got
think
you.
it was a war.
It was just like their civilizations. They was taking them probably from poor places like that.
Poor,
Cause there
right.
was probably rich places in
kings
Africa.
and shit, yeah.
But then there was probably them, the places where they could just come
I
in.
think
and take
some
them
people
away.
and some of them probably was selling it.
selling them. Yep, selling.
Oh
them.
yeah, for
Black
sure.
people was selling to
Yeah,
black people.
Right.
Oh,
But
black people
still,
say-
even
yeah.
if they was at the end of the day, it doesn't make it right for the people to come over here and work them the way they was.
No, of course
Because
it's
I
not
hear
right.
arguments where people say, well, your people sold people to the white people, but at the end of the day,
Oh, it's
You
not
s-
even that's not even an argument. Of course it's
still
not right.
You still had to work them and kill them and you know what I mean, make them still.
And it was different type of slaves too. You had like a porch nigga, like you know what I mean. You had all types of different shit back in the day. I mean, and that's crazy, but it's real.
Oh,
Like you had
yeah.
ones that was cool that was able to sleep in the white people's house because they was the clean,
Yeah, that was the ones that would listen and you knew would
and
would
they did
tell on
everything
people.
against because they like, yo,
You
if I
feel
can
me?
get this nigga to think that he can get away, whatever, and I can get him
I'm gonna
against his
feed
people,
them. I'm gonna give them
because they don't. You think they really like Steve said? You think they see a big buff black motherfucker walk up on them? You think they really want to see him toe to toe? No, they like. But if I can get this big black motherfucker to calm all these other motherfuckers down, I'm good.
Right, so I'm
'Cause
gonna
they can't
feed
beat
him.
him.
He ain't gotta work.
Nope.
He ain't gotta be out in that sun.
And we
I'm
know-
gonna make him work in the sun to see how I feel. And then I'm gonna put him in here and show him how good it is. So
Hold
he
the
don't wanna
gun.
Go back
and he
out
talk
there.
To him like,
He
where
gonna-
you going, nigga? He talking just like them, like they are.
And they more advanced. We can show y'all we can give y'all the quote unquote the gospel. We can tell y'all that, you supposed to be this way. And
Right.
I was at a funeral the other day, and it's crazy because even at black churches, Jesus on the thing is white,
Bible.
and it's like
that Bible, man.
it's like crazy. So it's like, speaking of the Bible, you think, I don't know which one is real, but do you think just the God that overpowers everyone, whether it's Allah or Jesus or whatever, is looking down like, y'all motherfuckers is on some bullshit?
Yeah, 'cause-
I was going to come back, but fuck y'all on some bullshit.
Yeah.
This is not what I wanted. This
'Cause
shit.
look,
I'm like, yo, like,
Look, how long that Bible been out for? It's only been, let's just say that we know, it's only been
200?
a couple, 200, 300 years. That's not a long time.
no, 2017. I mean, 2000. Sometimes, I mean, Bible came after. The Bible was before Jesus was born,
So they say.
supposedly, right? But based off what we got.
But for our history, the Bible's been around for what, like 300, 400 years? That's not that long.
Nah, I don't think
It's been,
long.
long. I don't
Longer
know.
than
I never did the research on it, but
Yeah.
that's a good question though.
Right, but
I mean, it was there before slavery.
I mean, supposedly it's supposed to be a book that was passed through generations, basically like before Christ and all that. And of
Yeah.
course, as you mentioned, I know we talked about it before.
Change shit.
A lot
Is
of
it like
things
a
can
verse?
change and all that.
when they say verse, because we didn't have music, we didn't have recordings and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So when they say writing a verse, is it like, I'm gonna pass this book along and you write your story, and this is my verse? You know what I mean? Could have been like that? Because there's so
I
many
think-
different stories.
I mean,
with the
that's-
different names. Exodus.
Yeah,
What is the definition of verse? I don't think nobody really looked up the definition of
A
verse.
verse is like, okay.
I think it was
in
David
music-
told his story. What did it say? It's David, and
A
everybody's
verse
got a
is
name.
story. When
Yeah,
you
it's
start
a
writing
passage.
a verse,
It is, so yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So,
So
could it have
maybe
been like that?
That
No, that's-
makes
no,
that
that's
makes
how it
yeah,
is.
that makes the sense.
No,
Right.
I mean, but that's not even
So it's
like,
not like God is up there like.
wait,
No,
time out.
But I think
I ain't
people-
gonna let that slide.
But there's
duh.
there's people that believe that though.
No, everybody. No, David's got his David verse playing and the King James version. Like everybody, if you read the Bible before Exodus, like these are people and these are their stories, right?
Yeah.
I never read the Bible, but I know that's like 99.9% of people that read the Bible know one person didn't write the Bible. Everybody wrote their
Their story-
piece,
their verse,
David
yeah.
wrote his piece, and
So what are we saying?
I don't.
So what are people saying the Bible is? Why are people saying this thing is so sacred? And if it's just
because it was just a story
And
of
it-
how it started. Like these people supposedly were, like people from God. Like God, I guess supposedly like.
That work. Yeah, these are people
Yeah.
that were with God,
Work
and
with
these
God,
and these are
supposedly.
and these are people who witnessed.
This is just
So-
the Bible.
so are
Think
we-
about it, there's
so-
way more religions than Christianity.
So are we saying the Bible?
And they don't have nothing to
are
do
we
with
saying
King
that- Are we
David.
saying the Bible's BS?
No, I'm saying,
not saying that,
everybody has. Think about it. I think at one point there was someone who was closer to God than the rest of us from the beginning. Because if God created all this, there had to be some people from the beginning that would have to know God more. There had to be the first child, right? If I have 1,000,000 kids, let's say me and my girl have 1,000,000 kids, the kid that comes out first, second, third, fourth, and fifth are going to know a lot more about me than the 500,000th child.
Okay.
So these people who were some of the earlier people, I think, knew what the real story was. So they started telling their version.
I got D. This is what I think too. It's almost like history, right? You see history like the Civil Rights War and all that. We get what happened in the book, but is that really what happened? It's probably close. It's probably an idea. I think what it is really because we weren't there, so we didn't witness it. I think it gives you a ideal of what happened.
Is their depiction.
It's their depiction of it. It's their point because like we could be at the same spot and talk about how somebody got in a fight. You know, like nah, nigga, that ain't how it went down. It went down
Right.
like this.
Yeah.
But it's giving you ideal that something did happen.
Something happened. Everybody saw the fight, but everybody got a different perspective.
Right, you
on
be
it.
like, oh, I ain't see him hit him like that. Nah, bro, he did. Yeah, he snuck him. You ain't see him with that right.
So what's the point of it?
They just wanted to tell a story like anything else. Like
So
anything
why
else.
is it worshipped?
Because think about it, if you pass it down to your kid, anything you pass down to your kid is going to believe you. And if you get a bunch of people to believe you, then it's a thing.
Right, you got to like things have to live on. Like it's almost like the American flag. Like that could have died. I mean, even though I don't really care about a flag, but I get why people like the flag.
Yeah,
But they bring it down. They tell you the history behind it. They tell you how it's good, and they want to get you to believe it and understand why it's so great. And then it's your choice, really, whether to believe it or not. I mean, but for me, I just think it's like with anything. It's like football. Like I like the Cowboys. The reason I like them is because initially my dad was a Cowboy fan. He didn't force me on it, but he told me about him, why he liked him and all that. And I did my history research on. I was like, now I like the Cowboys.
just passed down.
And I just chose to like them. You had your own direction why you like the Steelers. There's probably a story behind it. Probably like, yo, I just said I like this team, and then you start reading on them like, yo, this is my team.
Imagine
So,
if
yeah.
it started off with just one football team, like, and it just football team was just like the Harlem Globetrotters, and they just did tricks, right? They just did tricks. They didn't play against anybody. They just did tricks, and for years it was
I
just
just
one
don't
team.
get why people are divided or believe
Different things.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, like, I just don't get what.
No different than how you like trap music and I don't. Like, you're gonna stand, but you don't like Kevin Durant and I do. You will argue me to the death of why he's not top 5. That is exactly the world in a nutshell. There's people that believe what they want to believe. They don't give a fuck about the person who don't believe them. When we're in a heated argument, at that point, nigga, you hate me. Like, it's not real hate, but it's like, fuck what you talking
So
about.
it's just like one of the oldest artifacts that's been around.
Is everyone's
Which is
story of
people's
how
stuff.
this shit started. Imagine
I
the
got
person
you.
that can be
Yeah.
like, I can tell a story about how this shit started.
Before
So
you,
basically, when it says like, okay, this man went from town to town, he had wives. That's all he was saying. That he just went around knocking.
And
niggas
think about it,
locking
you're
niggas up.
only speaking on
Alright,
the
okay.
religion you know, right? As much as you think that story's maybe not real, there's at least hundreds of different religions with different Bibles that it has nothing to do with Christianity. It's just,
Yeah.
and that's just their depiction on who the creator was and why he created this and what he wants us to do. So it's no one can
you.
say which one is right.
I got you.
It's just like all these people was here in the beginning, and some people think is this is the
I
way
mean,
to live.
what you said though, like, was kind of like real and dope. Like when you said it, like it is like in a nutshell, it's just how it is. Like everybody you have a choice.
Yeah.
And it's like you chose to go down certain lane. You might be like, why you play basketball in high school? Because I liked it.
I just like basketball.
But football's better. You might be like, no, basketball's better. But we can't say you're lame because you like that, because
Yeah.
that's what you like.
Yes.
And it makes you happy and comfortable. So I get it.
And that's religion in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Think about it. For all we know, God was God, and he was like, I'm God. I'm not letting y'all know how I did this. Just know I created this shit. I'm not going to let y'all know how I created this. Y'all can have my secrets. And everybody at this point was just like, yo, how the fuck did we get here? This is how I think we got here.
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, this is how I think we got here. And then it could just be like everybody is just telling how they think it happened. And God may be up there like, you know what I mean? This is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to have free will. I want y'all to have free thoughts. I want y'all to experiment and talk to each other and come together. Maybe he didn't want us to war together.
Right.
But God can be up there like, yo, none of you motherfuckers know how this shit started.
And
I ain't giving y'all my secrets. Y'all can figure it out. If
And
y'all
I ain't
know.
gonna hold you. I just think like not even stay on it so long, but I agree with you. I think good vibes is like, yo, positive vibes and positive energy is just like a real thing. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, because you feel good about it. Like if you do something good for somebody, you feel warm inside.
Right.
And for me, that means a lot.
Yeah.
For somebody if you don't want to put a religion or anything, just saying like, if you do something good for somebody, do you feel good about it? Why does that make you feel good? Because it's just the energy that's around, and that positive energy is just amazing. So, I mean, just to say is everybody has their own opinion. Everybody had their own thoughts. And be you and be happy.
It's crazy because I watched a movie called The Shack, and it was like not a Christianity movie, but it was a movie with kind of Christianity or Christian morals. And the dude, his daughter got killed and raped and killed by some random dude. And the dude whose daughter died, like he was harping on the fact that I hate this dude. He did wrong and all that. So whatever, he goes to explore and try to find the truth out. And then like he has this epiphany where he's into God kind of brings him into like a different dimension where God is actually talking to him, but he's depicting himself as two women and a guy, and they're all teaching this dude. And the main guy like asked him like, you know, why do you hate this dude? And she was like, and he kind of said like, well, he raped my daughter, he was wrong. And God was like, who the fuck are you? Like, you're not the judge.
just say
I'm
that's
motherfucking God. Who are you to say he was wrong? You know what I mean? And maybe he is. But bitch, you don't determine what's right and wrong. You know what I mean? Or you can't. It's if you judge someone. I guess the moral of the story was if you judge someone, you'll never be able to let it go because it'll harp there because you're not really a judge.
Yeah.
Like you're judging someone without the means to really or even to really punish him.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You can go and kill that dude.
You didn't make the
but
rules.
you'll never let that go. Right? You didn't make the rules. Y'all not here to do the judging. If I'm God, I'm here to judge. Who are you to say what's right and what's wrong? You do what you feel. If you think something is wrong, you think that's wrong, but you're in no position to be the judge.
I don't know if you could just be walking around doing whatever you feel though.
That's not what the moral was. The moral was if you think he wrong, it'll be taken care of. It's not your job to take care of it.
Okay, I get that.
That's what it was. It was like you can feel he's wrong and that's fine. But
what about a serial killer who's killed 50 people due to times of versus a person who killed 13 people.
And that's what the guy says something along the lines of, I don't make shit happen. Everyone has free will. Because the dude was like, why are you letting this happen? He said, I don't make this happen. I help you get through it. Mm-hmm. But it's not I'm not a puppet. That would make me fucked up if I'm up there making people do things. I don't make people do anything. Everybody has the ability to do anything they want. Mm-hmm. If it's bad, I'm not going to take care of them. The way I'll set this shit up is they'll be taken care of. Whether it's they eat themselves up, whether it's regardless what
Somebody
it is.
else take 'em
but
out, yeah.
I'm just not. I mean, you're not the judge. You're not there to persecute this person for doing wrong. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, in the society we live in, we do need to keep serial killers away, right? And it maybe that's just what we need to do to let the world fly. So I don't.
So So if I was a person who said, I'm going to lock this serial killer up,
right?
Am I wrong?
I don't think you're quote unquote wrong, because she wasn't punishing this dude for doing that, for wanting to kill the serial killer. She was just saying, well, just a heads up, this is the reason why you're unhappy. Like, he was harping on it. He couldn't continue his life. He had other kids, other wife, and everything was just damaging. Like, his wife relationship was going bad. His relationship with his daughter was going bad. He was not able to realize his daughter thinks she's at fault. He couldn't even see that because he was so channeled, and it wasn't her job to pull him up and now judge him or say he was wrong for judging. Mm-hmm. She was trying to, she's like I said, she wasn't here to, she was here to help people get through shit. And that was her way of helping him get through it. Like, yo, you're not the judge. You just got to understand that that's just how this world is. And if it's wrong, they'll get dealt with. But if you want to get over it, you won't get over it thinking like you're in control.
Like, and you got to do something about it. I mean, even though I know it's easier said than done.
For sure.
Because when you got stuff on your mind or somebody get you to that level, I mean, you feel like, yo, I just want to.
Like she told him, you got to forgive him. You got to forgive him. She was like, if you don't forgive him, you'll never get out of that. So you'll never even. So basically, you're killing the relationship with the kids. You do have 2 other kids and a wife. You're killing it because you're focusing on
raped
this.
her and killed her?
That's what we think. Like, it never showed it happen. It just showed her dress with some blood on it in some little shack in the woods.
So he was like dreaming of her. Like, he was in this world where.
No, so it happened. It was a serial killer on the loose, and the cops knew that most likely the serial killer that killed these other girls probably killed your daughter too, because we found her dress with the blood on it. So he went up. He got a letter in his mailbox, basically making it seem like it was from the serial killer. So he went up there, and then he like fell, and when he kind of like came out of a little conscience, he was with like this black lady and this Indian lady and this black lady, a Chinese woman, and an Indian man, and they was all like supposed to be like portions of God, you know what I mean? And he had little experiences with both of them, and like the one time it was like the Indian dude was on the water, and he said, "Come out here," and dude was like, I got a boat," and he was like, "Come out here, like you can walk on water." So he walked on water, and he came to him. But then when the Indian dude was away, he tried to walk on water again, and he fucking fell in the water. And the guy was like, "I can help you, but you're not gonna just be me. You can't just do what I do. But if I hold your hand, I can help you through it."
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So it was just little it's an interesting watch. Like, it's just little different life values that it was making sense. And like I said, it wasn't. She wasn't judging him for judging people. She was just saying, you can judge people all you want. Your quote unquote penalty for trying to be the judge is you're just gonna harp over this shit. You're never gonna let it go. So that's how that shit went.
That's dope.
Word. So I guess do you think a civil war is going to happen due to this
With the civil rights, white supremacist thing that came out?
Yeah, because that's not the end of it. it's going to happen more
I don't think Civil War is gonna happen now.
because they're comparing Black Lives Matter.
To the White Lives Matter.
Yeah, they're
too.
saying if you're going to take down Robert E. Lee, you need to take down Martin Luther King.
But see, Martin Luther King was fighting because of us as being slaves.
I know, but they're saying that he basically, caused people to riot. He basically, and they were saying that he did bad things like cheat on his wife and did unchristian things.
I mean, I get that. I get all that. And people are going to say whatever they want. But here's my thing. We can go down a list of people that were slave owners for years
Right,
as presidents of
Right.
the United States of America, of our leading thing.
right.
So for somebody like Martin Luther King, who's one black man who tried to lead us out of slavery from all the years and pain you cost us, why the fuck should we take down anything? That's my rule and my thing of it. So, give me one, bro.
And that was my point. Like, why it should be a compromise. You know what I mean? Like, if America's going to a point where black people and white people should live together, you should take down the people who wanted to separate.
I can see them
that.
saying take down the flag, but
The statue. You
the
should leave
statue, I mean, fuck it, keep the statue there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's been there. It's been there for years, so we can't make it seem like all of
put
us
it somewhere else. Put it in a
in a museum. But then they're gonna say, "Well, put Martin Luther King away in a museum."
No.
Martin Luther King brought
You
the
talk
country
about
together,
Robert
though.
E. Lee, dude?
Yeah.
Nah, the reason why they saying we can technically say put him away is because he fought against America. That's like having
Oh, he did.
Hitler statue in America.
It was
like
just
this
on
dude
America's soil.
was he was the leader of the Confederate who was fighting the America to say I
don't wanna
don't
be a part
like
of
the
y'all.
way you American niggas run shit. We want to run a country.
We wanna be our
so the
own
country,
shit.
no, not we want to be our own. We want to own this. Like we want.
Oh,
it
Robert
want to be
Lee.
our rules. Like y'all can't
Oh,
tell
yeah, the
us
whole-
what
they
to
want-
do.
they wanted to take
like
the
we
whole
kind of
thing.
want like.
But I thought they was just trying to separate.
Well, it was. They were trying to separate, but I'm sure eventually they will probably
Trying
want
to take the
try
whole
to take
thing.
over,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
eventually,
yeah.
if you
I never,
separating,
I never
right,
paid
right.
attention. I never knew Robert E. Lee. I know he was Confederate, but I never knew they fought like America. Like,
yeah, it was it was the North versus the South.
Yeah, but America was the South, and they wanted to. They kind of
America was
wanted
the North,
America
I
to
think.
leave them alone because America didn't like the fact that they had slaves.
Yeah.
So they was
Okay.
like, all right, leave us the fuck alone. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. We gonna do what we want to do. And like you said, they probably was like, "Oh, we stronger and we tougher than them. We gonna take."
I
that
mean, that's a
sword."
valid point. Then take that motherfucker out of here.
Now,
This
you
is
can
America.
put him in the museum, just like there's Hitler in the museums. Like
Right,
maybe
right,
not
right.
a statue of him, but it's
'Cause
shit
they
he
was saying
did.
In Germany, they don't see
Yeah.
a lot of Nazi. They don't see a lot of concentration camps because they burned them down.
Yeah.
But you can go to a museum to remember what happened.
Okay.
So you don't need Robert E. Lee standing out there just like this shit is.
And that's like a
our
disrespect
town.
to
You don't need
America.
them
And he
black.
lost.
Yeah.
This nigga lost.
Yeah, like when you
This
get
nigga
trophies for
lost.
losing.
It's like, right. It's like having when the NBA is done and there's no more basketball, and you got the motherfucker in the front of the NBA building, and you can't just have like James Harden there just because he was good if he never won a chip.
Right.
You,
You
not even
put
James
Jordan.
Harden. It's like right, but even just to make it. I mean, I guess
don't
the
need to
dude
put
was somebody.
Barkley.
Right. You got to put somebody who
Right.
won. Like you
Yeah,
can't just put a
yeah.
nigga who didn't win.
Right.
You lost, nigga.
You lost.
I put Ori up there before Barkley. You
Like
feel me?
if I was the Confederate people, I wouldn't even want his ass up there. Like
I
y'all, you the motherfucking reason why we can't have no slaves, motherfucker. Fuck you, Robert.
I need
You-
to put Trump up there.
Right, like they. So I don't even. So I get why it was coming down. Just the reason why the Confederate flag. Like the reason why you can't have the swastika in Germany. Like it didn't. That shit's over. Like
Right,
you
y'all
just can't.
lost.
Y'all lost. Like it's elite. You can't. Like they said, the one dude was a story about the one dude in Germany, and he gave like the Nazi salute or something. And he got his ass whooped because this is not something you can do there. Like that shit's done.
Yo, America really is about war though, because if you think about sports, it's all about war. My team versus yours. We gonna win. We gonna conquer this thing. Like yo,
Every country is a gang.
Every
but that
country.
is
It's
that
just a game.
adrenaline? Because that's what thrives us though. Competition, adrenaline.
But see, it's
power.
cool when it's friendly.
like jobs, even jobs.
Power.
It's power. People like to be in charge and power.
Everybody wanna be in
That's
charge.
true.
And I think
Power.
the fact that over in England, the fact that it was a king and it was a couple people,
Mhm.
probably like us, like, man, he just like us. That nigga ain't smarter than us. Why
True.
can't we live like him? Well,
True.
went over to America, tried to take their own shit and tried to build their own shit, knowing that my family's gonna be able to live. That's probably what that's what I'm thinking that the settlers were thinking. Like, listen, this king ain't no different than us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People start realizing the shit, and then it's like, okay, well, we want our own. We want to be our own kings.
True.
That's what
Somebody's
America
gonna
is.
always want to be the leader. Like, it's rare you get a Golden State. That's why Golden State is the best team in the league. Every other team in the league, you got one person that kind of wants to run that team.
America used to be Golden State because nobody.
You
I
talking
mean-
about what, like 13 colonies days? Since
Nah,
there was
like-
presidents, no one.
Nah,
would,
when we was
there's always
when we
somebody
was
in charge.
expanding, Like I would say, like 1940 to like 1980, because everybody was just trying to eat, and now it's like
no,
now it's like New York, Cali.
bro. There was slaves. Someone was in charge. There was always somebody with the power.
Somebody's at the power there, the juice.
There's somebody.
You
there's-
talking about deeper? Like it's like he said 13.
Maybe you talking about maybe when there was like tribes and they Native Americans, and even then there was a chief. There was always somebody in charge. Always. There's always a president. If there's a president, he's in charge. And then we
He
make
was like the coach, but I'm saying like it wasn't.
it was him and his crew.
I'm saying black people, white people was all working together. Everything was vibing.
president. He the
When?
owner.
When was
President, the
black people
owner. I
walking
think the
in
vice
charge?
president is the coach.
Right, just like
When was black people and white people working together?
I'm saying,
Never.
we was vibing.
The
at
answer
one
is
point.
never.
We was vibing
When?
at one point for like
Civil
10
rights?
years. Nah,
When?
from like 1990 to like 2012.
No. We're getting better. I mean, we can't say we were vibing. I mean,
From
Jim
1990
Crow.
to 2012, we was vibing, bro.
2000
like,
what?
White bitches was loving the black niggas.
That's
Bro,
always
you
that
talking
shit
about
always.
high school. Like, I feel what you saying. You talking about from your perspective. It ain't no fucking vibe, nigga. And the powers might be are still the white people, but we've come a long way.
Alright, yeah,
But to say that in the 90s shit was cool and black people and white people felt equal as black people, nah, I think black
It is
people.
Alright,
crazy.
so look.
Go ahead.
Okay, so look, is are they trying to knock civil rights off the map? Like the movement from Martin Luther King, because now they're trying to they're bringing out the neo-Nazis, they're bringing out the transgenders, they're bringing out the gay rights. So it's like they're trying to make it seem like, okay, well, black people didn't have rights, but gay people don't have rights either. So
Right.
now I feel like it's kind of like it's like kind of changing the history of America, as far as like they're making it seem like it's not as significant to be.
black. Like,
Yeah.
like what y'all got to be worried about.
Yeah, because I feel a lot of people, white people, like you said, the poor white people be like, well, I've had to work all my life. I've never had white privilege. But at the end of the day, you won't get in trouble for something I'm going to get in trouble for. If I'm on the street smoking a blunt, I might get in trouble. But you can be on the street smoking a blunt, you're going to be like, hey, throw that out. You know what I mean? And I've seen it happen. So I guess my point is,
Do you do you think do you think they ever cared? We never got reparations. We never got they never cared. It was always slavery happened, motherfucker, get over it. Or slavery happened, y'all ain't slaves, y'all still can't sit on the same bus as us. Oh, y'all still can't go to the same schools as us. It was never accepted to the point where it was like,
Right.
oh, we feel sorry for y'all.
right,
No.
that's what I'm saying. So this country can never be united because there will never be an admitted to the point that
Right.
there's
No. Yeah, it was never. There would never
Yeah.
be.
there
like-
had there's
the
still
only way
white-
to
white
admit it is to
privilege
hook us
alive,
up.
right?
Only way to admit it is to hook us up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like ain't no, cause think about it. Some white people do feel like, yo, that was a lot of white people actually feel like, yo, that was fucked up. But it's not. I don't give a fuck if my man down the street thinks slavery
Because
is
there's a lot of
fucked
people
up.
say it wasn't
I'm
me.
talking about
they say
if-
it wasn't me.
Right. I feel you.
And they be like, I still shouldn't be out of a job or have less chance.
But there's a lot of
job.
people that do think it was fucked up. There's a lot of people who do think, yo, we should help them out. But they can't help us out. My man down the street can't help us out.
It's all
But
about
the
this-
powers may be can be
Right,
like,
can't
yo,
help
y'all
us
got
out.
set back. Y'all ain't got to pay taxes.
Yeah, y'all
or
right.
y'all got set back. Yo, we gonna pay y'all $400 a week or $200 a week for the rest of your
So
life.
will bleaching
you know what
your
I mean?
skin become more popular?
I don't think that's gonna matter because at the end of the day, if you bleach your skin, it may still not work out for you. They're gonna probably still know you a nigga. Like
gonna work
Michael's
out
the
fine, though.
only one who Michael Jackson was the only one who bleached it and it
Sammy
looks.
Sosa.
Did Sammy Sosa bleach his skin?
Fuck yes, but he looks like Sammy Sosa. He
Fucking nigga,
looks like a Charlie Villanueva.
I gotta see this motherfucker.
It's albino.
Okay.
Can't get rid of your features. Jews
Right.
were white.
Right, but they had
Jew features.
Yeah, right.
People still like
Jews have big
Jews
roots
get a
along
lot
with
of slack. Like, I mean, I don't even want to call them Jews. I think that's fucked up. Jewish people get a lot of like they get the neo-Nazi was like F niggers, F Jews, like that. Like they were they were putting them down too.
They were distinct. Jews had a distinct.
They had a
look.
distinctive look. Like I don't think it's even a
Crazy idea. They had strong
yeah.
attributes.
So
and
you can
everything.
bleach your skin all you want, but you gonna look black.
Yeah, they know. They be like, oh, you're not one of us.
You're not one of us.
We know.
You're not one of us. But that's what I'm saying. The thing is that like I said, a lot of these quote unquote really racist people tend to be. A lot of them came from the offspring of the white people who got fucked up by slavery, and then, like I said, when slavery got abolished, now they became the bottom of the barrel. Usually, when you think of white racist people, and I know this is stereotypical, but they stereotype us too. You think of poor. You think of dirty looking,
True.
grungy looking.
Right.
Now,
But then-
granted, that is stereotypical. There's a lot of people like that aren't racist, and there's a lot of clean white people that are racist.
Yeah.
But like I say, like a lot of the people who are the ones that are that say it's worth going out and protesting are the ones that feel threatened by the fact that, man, yo, we really are becoming.
We can't even fuck our own bitches anymore.
Because with all the quote unquote stuff they're seeing
niggas
about
fucking
black
my
people,
bitch.
for real.
Well, listen,
Like,
it's-
they're seeing us rise.
Yo, it's a lot
and
of.
we
It's
got
a,
and we got the
black
stereotype of
president?
having bigger,
Right.
bigger.
And it's a
bigger
lot of-
dicks.
a lot-
fucking,
And
that's
we-
what-
and we
they
be
don't
in
want their
rhythm with the
country back.
music, like,
They're like, oh, we want our country back. Y'all don't want your motherfucking country back.
White
Y'all
bitch.
want your girl back. They want their girl back.
and then we
They
be
want their job
stroking.
back.
We be in there talking shit to him like, you like that, dick, don't you? Yeah, I know you like
Like,
that. long
Billy, this
dick.
isn't what Tyrone did.
Yeah.
You grip the hair, but like, shut the fuck up.
They don't talk like their vibrations aren't the way we
It's
do.
the- it's
Just
a
the way
vibe.
we
It's a-
talk-
it's a vibe.
The way we talk is a vibration. The way the timing of how our words come off our tongue. You know what I'm saying?
They don't
how
like
they
that.
speak is hi, yeah, man. Like I'm not everybody. You know what I'm saying? But
They don't like the fact that black music is popping. Black people is popping. Guess
Right.
what? Their people kind of
black
like our
sports-
culture.
Black sports
Yeah.
are popping. NASCAR ain't popping, but football, where most black people dominate, and basketball, black people dominate, is popping in America.
But you know the most-
Baseball, most Mexican people dominate, or Hispanic people dominate.
it's not really. I mean, it's a couple white people,
But
but
it's mostly the Hispanics is the nice
but
ones.
the most popular sport is soccer.
And Hispanic people are the best.
They dominate.
Yeah.
Hispanic people are the best.
Yeah, they be
The
crushing.
The Argentina.
Right.
I mean, I guess
I mean, you
the-
might see
Spain,
white people do it in high school.
The
Jamaica
real,
too,
the
Jamaica
Real
good.
Madrid,
but in
Jamaica.
yeah, but in fucking around
The ones that's
world,
nice?
World Cup.
It's Pele. You know what I mean?
But yo, Steve made me think though, like the racist people that are not always the grungy, the dirty ones. Because I don't know if y'all, I know y'all remember, but remember that day we was shooting a video down the street,
Came with the bat.
and them booze came with the bat.
Oh, you know that's funny
They
because
dressed
I was
like
gonna bring this
twins.
up on this episode.
They was Hicks.
because of that Charlton shit. But it's good that you brought it up because I forgot about it. Yo, we was about to shoot a video for my man Steve Senna, and we was on the train tracks just turning
This is about
up.
3 years ago.
Yeah, and these white boys pulled up with the pickup truck. First, if you drive a pickup truck, you automatically an asshole because you automatically think you can drive faster than everybody.
Run people off
you
the
think
road.
niggas gotta move out the way when you.
I mean, they had it lifted and everything.
We got to hear that dumb exhaust. Tell your car to shut the
you feel
fuck
me? What
up.
the fuck are you pulling?
Fuck
nigga?
a pickup truck. If you drive
Exactly.
a big ass pickup truck, you drawling.
Right.
Unless you move some shit. If you got a moving company, I
Right.
get it.
Right, but if you don't, you
Construction
just an
company.
asshole. So we on the train tracks, turning up to the music because you know how we do, and these white boys pull up. Two of them, we like 5 deep. 2 white boys pull up with baseball bats,
with
12
matching, look like twins. They had the
Awesome.
same outfit on.
same baseball outfit like they just got.
But
done
only
playing
one of them
baseball.
had a bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of them had a bat. The other bull, we ain't know what they
talking
had in the
shit.
trunk
Yeah, he
though.
was
They
just
might have
talking
had a
shit.
shoddy. So he talking shit like, what y'all doing out here? The boy was twisting the bat on some purge shit. You feel me? We like, yo, we out here shooting my man video. What you mean? He like, oh, and then kind of, I guess he kind of like,
He realized it was 5 of us. That's the story was. He thought it was a bunch of kids. He said some shit. We looked at him like, yo, what's up? Then he pulled up thinking it was about to be an easy lick. And he realized it was like 5 of these motherfuckers. I know I got a bat, but there's only one bat. I'm going to get torched.
Right.
If they thought they could win, it would have went down. They just
Right.
didn't think they could win.
right, they'd have been.
You don't think they
would've
went
been-
home
they would've
mad?
been heroes
They
in
went
their
home mad
hometown.
like, God damn it, we couldn't fuck those niggers up.
Right.
They
Yeah,
was mad.
they was ready to go. If the
You don't
other
think
boy
they was mad,
if the
dog?
other boy if they had another, like maybe 2 other people and
Or
they
a
all
gun,
had bats.
or a gun.
Yeah, if it was 4 people, we was fighting.
Yeah, it was
Right.
4.
We was fighting.
Yeah,
Right,
we was.
right,
You think they just tried to? No, they just knew they was gonna catch this L. It was
Right.
5. Even though we wasn't the aggressors, they just knew. Okay, they're older than we thought.
Right.
Because they were looking from the road. That was
Yeah,
far
yeah,
away.
yeah,
so when they
yeah.
pulled up,
we not like everybody. Everybody not like 6'5".
Right.
No, we short and we small. Like, well, most
Right.
people are small, but I'm the biggest dude out there. But they probably like, oh, these are little kids.
Right.
Yeah,
But
we
then
gonna
when
run
they
them
pulled
over.
up. They like, all right, it's 5 of them. I don't know. They didn't. We didn't run. So they probably
Yeah.
expecting us to run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it was,
yeah,
once
yeah.
they
Or
realized
be
if
scared.
we go at it,
Yeah.
we would have to go at it. They was like,
Right.
fuck it. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
right,
like
right,
you
right,
said,
right.
they would have, if they could take advantage of us, they would have. If it was just 3 of us, or if we was just a little bit smaller, I think they would have tried to do some shit.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean that was just a crazy thing, but I mean the reason I brought it up is just because I know we've been talking about a whole lot of racist shit. That was the most racist shit ever. But then, like Steve said, there's some good white people because there was some white lady and white guy who came out to us and was like, what did they say to
Yeah,
you?
what the hell were their
What the
problem?
hell the problem? I live here for 30 years. I never had no problem. Don't listen to them. Do your
You guys
shit.
can
Yeah,
do whatever
You
you
guys,
want.
you're not hurting.
Yeah.
You're not hurting nobody. So it's just go to say that there are some good people out there.
And what you said is key. Is like most of them are.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of that. Like there's a lot of closet racists, which is okay because there's a lot of closet racist people that hate Chinese people. There's a but it's not those ones. If you I don't care if you don't like me,
Right.
but when you start thinking that I deserve less than you, or when you start thinking that I
It's
can
taught.
kill you,
It's taught though.
Yeah.
Because you know, like you.
Oh, that's definitely taught. Like them dudes who came with the bat were taught.
Yeah, because when you
To
see
fuck
that
them
video,
niggas, yeah.
that little boy in the KKK video, and the black cop standing there with the shield, it's like, you know, racism isn't, you're not born racism, you're
No,
taught.
it's taught.
Yeah,
And the
it's
bull-
taught.
The little kid was like this tall, walked up with a whole KKK suit to the cop with the shield, and they was just both looking down at him like, you know what I mean? So it's like a picture, like real picture.
But also too, I mean, I don't even salute them cops because at the end of the day, they allowed this shit to happen.
I'm
You
gonna
got-
kick that little nigga.
you-
Get
but
the
listen,
fuck
you got
outta here.
you got shields and
Fuck
you got all
outta
these
here.
things, and y'all don't even attack. The thing is, y'all try to contain it. What are you containing? At the end of the day, if it, like I said, if it was black people with torches and we was marching and we were talking about black power,
It's the media. It's the media. You
it's
know
the-
what? Because at the end of the day, white people always have more money, so they control the media, so they can put out anything they want to. It could be just a little nerd ass nigga who would never fight in his life.
We know
to-
our
to
rights.
say
We're gonna
some
vote. They
shit.
probably pay for it. They probably
To
told the
say
cops
some
we're gonna
shit,
do that.
dog.
Well, they said, I don't know if you heard the thing, but they said they filled out a permit and everything. It's just, I mean, it's just a protest. I mean, you're
Right, it was
allowed
just
to
a
protest.
protest.
Yeah.
It was
just
just
got
like-
bad when the people came and said, "Hey, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't gonna be like." It was whites against whites.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't really see a lot of black people out
It
there. I
really
seen
wasn't.
a
It was
lot of
in
white people out
Charlottesville,
there.
Virginia.
The
I don't
white,
think
the
any
chick
black
that got
people.
killed was white.
Yes, it was all white people. Like it was like 2 or 3.
And I respect y'all. I love y'all. You know why? Because that's how it's supposed
That's
to be.
what I'm saying. So the media
We
puts
don't we don't not love y'all or think y'all any less. It's just like it's a lot of the media. It's the media, man, and it's really controlling. Like that's when all the shows we grew up on, all the stuff we kind of learned, infomercials, Sesame Street. It's all media. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you can't really blame people for feeling how they feel off of stuff that they, you know, unless they Amish or they didn't watch TV.
True.
But if you grew up the American way, watching TV, going to school, learning the same things, you're gonna be taught the same things, so you're gonna feel a certain way.
So it's like this. When I walk into a building, I know the stereotype for black people. They're aggressive. They're ignorant. We might
Loud.
rob you. So I go out my way to show that I'm not that person.
Right.
I think white people, they know the stereotype is you're racist. You hate black people. So if you ain't racist, go out your way to prove you ain't racist.
Yo, that was
And
some real ass
that's
shit.
the fucking shit that I see going on in the media. I don't let the fact that there were 20 racist motherfuckers protesting. I see the
1,000.
50,000 people who are like, yo, no, y'all bullshitting. Y'all on some bullshit. I know if it's a civil war, they will lose, nigga. It's so many white people in power. It's so many, random white people that just like, no, at the end of the day, though, we America. At this point,
But
black
listen,
people are Americans.
When that stuff happened, nobody knew it was gonna happen. So if all those people, listen, I'm not a god. I don't know. I'm just talking of what I think could happen.
Right.
If a civil war happened, and all those people had to be kind of like diminished. That's just how it happens. Just like
What?
back in the day, like the people, the neo Nazis and stuff that are opposed to how America's being ran, and they want shit to go back to America.
Right.
Like you said, there's black people and there's white people that oppose to that
Right.
outnumber that
Right.
small group of people.
So you're saying they would
if-
lose.
If they got to be diminished or just kind of knocked to the point where that's how we got to change, we got to get rid of those people. Because think about it, when slavery happened, black people were being killed and hung and dicks was cut off and all that, but they had no choice. So these people might not have no choice of what's about to happen to them because they keep spewing hatred. And what happens with hatred? Negativity.
What are you saying though?
That they like, if it is like a war to the point where
You think we're gonna take them out first? Is what you're saying?
I think it might.
I don't
think
think
they
so.
might get taken out.
I don't think so.
This is not. I mean, first of all, it's not enough people to be a civil war. The Civil War made sense back in the day because there was a lot of people in the South and a lot of people in the North. It's now like 1 million to 1,000. You know what I mean? It's not a lot. It's not even close to. There's a lot, maybe a lot of racist
but
people.
they're on their
There's
way
not a
out.
lot of
They're on their
people.
way out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's not even. It was not even enough to initiate a war. It's like, all right, go to jail, nigga. Like it's not even enough to like make it a war. Like I'm not saying there's not a lot of racist people. It's not a lot of people willing to die for their racism. Like I said, there's a lot of people that may not like black people, but they don't hate them enough to go protest and show their face. Like these motherfuckers hate Jews and black people enough to go show their. A lot of these motherfuckers lost their job. You know what I'm saying? Like they sent the letter at my job today. I mean, the email and was like, we're discontinuing business with, like basically anybody that's affiliated with that.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like this is a thing. Like it's like
snap.
not a lot of people are
That's what I
willing
mean.
to
They're-
fight, die for that. So it's
that-
not even
that
enough.
is about
Because-
to be diminished.
Because as a
It is
business
diminished.
aspect, if they know
That's
that you're
fake.
involved with racism, they can lose a lot of people, and it's a lot of as they call black people and all the we're minorities. So
we
you
spend
lose
the
us,
most money. Like what
oh,
do you mean?
it's over. So
Go ahead.
We spend the most money. We're their business.
that's true.
We are their business. Like they're not making money off of white people. White people mostly own the business.
I mean, they make money off of them, but I'm just saying, like you made a valid point. We
Yeah, they do,
we
but
spend
they
a
make
lot of
more
money.
off of us.
For sure.
And real businessmen don't want to lose money anywhere.
No.
So to transition, I don't want to talk too much about the Colin Kaepernick shit, but that's kind of, I think, why the Kaepernick shit not working. There's enough people who dislike him sitting down for the flag. Like
yeah.
there's black people who.
What about Marshawn Lynch?
Wait. Let me make this point. There's a lot of black people who don't like him kneeling because they fought for the country.
Right.
There's a lot of white people that don't like him kneeling. So they
fought for
like,
the country.
I don't want to lose this money
Right.
over somebody that probably won't gain us money.
Right.
Marshawn Lynch is that nigga.
I got you.
You can lose people for Marshawn Lynch. We're already going to gain millions of people for the fact that we signed Marshawn Lynch.
Right,
so the
right,
risk is worth the reward.
Right.
Where it's like, we know they're blackballing him.
Yeah.
But it's no
it's
different
not
than
enough
kind of them
niggas who fuck
taking,
with Kaepernick.
you know, that one hockey or baseball team that used to be called the Devil Rays are now called just the Rays.
Right.
Because the Christians was like, yo, y'all ain't going to keep this devil shit in your
Right.
name.
Right.
And it was like, we don't want to lose the business
Right,
from these
right. So a
people.
lot of Christians.
So
Right.
it ain't worth it. So
Right.
it's like, what they're doing to Kaepernick is wrong, but I don't even think, and I think racism plays into
I
it.
think that Redskins. That's why I ain't changed the name because niggas was like, man, that
Not enough people care.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not enough Native
Right.
Americans. If it was
Right.
called the Blackskins, that
Right.
shit would be that
Right.
shit would be changed.
Right.
Because they almost changed the Redskins,
Right.
but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, Native
Unfortunately,
Americans.
because
Right.
I think that's fucking racist as shit.
Yeah.
But
And
on the
the
flip
Indians,
side, I can
Cleveland
look at it
Indians.
like, what else is it? It's Sharks, Panthers. So they looking at these people are kind of like, maybe they're saying the Indians are like a
Yeah.
force,
The
because
Redskins.
sharks are a force. A lion is a
There's
force.
a lot of white
Yeah.
people who got red skin.
and like, and they're looking at Indians like
Yeah,
strong.
Like a force.
Oh, yeah.
like most like it's not a team called the New Orleans Bunny Rabbits. Like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
team
yeah.
is like
Like, kinda
a
like-
strong,
Yeah,
a
elite.
raider.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? A
elite.
Viking,
Yeah.
a shark, a lion,
Yeah.
a panther,
A Bengal, yeah.
a Bengal,
Indian,
so
a
an
fighter,
Indian,
a
a fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of the way they look at it. Is
patriot.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys.
Patriots.
Yeah, it's Patriots. Yeah.
A patriot, yeah. So I mean, technically, that's really a
Bronco, a
salute.
Steeler.
A Bronco, yeah. It's like a salute, if anything,
Yeah.
because they got white people on there too. It's just not. You're not called like the White Skins though. It's just called
Right.
the Redskins.
White
But
Sox.
I guess they didn't want to say Indians because it was already an Indian.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and also too, it's been that name for so long, and so it's like that. If that was going to take an effect, somebody should have been
Right.
said something. It's like one of those things. Like if it's been 50 years, why you like? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
All right, so listen, have you ever been a victim of road rage, or are you the
that's
road,
crazy
are you the
brought
road
that up, 'cause
rager,
I just was talking.
or
about
are you the
this shit.
road rager?
I've been a victim of road rage before.
I mean, I'm not really road rager. I might be like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga doing? But I understand the road. You know what I'm saying? I understand that you can't control it. You're in a fucking fast car moving on this thin ass road. Like, why do people act like they can control it like you're in a mall where you can maneuver? My nigga, you can lose your life. What do you I mean?
Nigga
Like,
passionate.
yeah, cause niggas be like, I be driving, you be doing 65 on the right lane, niggas behind you, like white people too, be like throwing their hands up. I'm like, yo, what do you? So I slow down, I throw my finger up, like, well, yo, what are you doing? Like,
So pause this.
the fuck are
That's road rage. That's what I had to explain to my girl and my sister, but I get it. It's like everybody's the king of your castle when you're in a car. You're driving, you're in control. So when a motherfucker cuts you off, like
Nah,
the
you
fact
gotta
that you are
respect the road.
Right. But you're angry enough to put your middle finger up at this person. It's crazy because a lady was behind me and I didn't realize the light turned green. And then she honked. And then I realized that, and then she flew past me and put her middle finger up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything.
that
But listen,
bad.
a
That's what I'm
crazy
saying, it's not that
motherfucker
serious.
will blow your brains out. The
That
fact that
happened,
you
yeah.
put your
but
middle
it's
finger,
not that serious.
it is because why'd you give him the middle finger? For some reason, people
No, I'm
get.
talking about for her.
No, but you gave somebody the middle finger. You just
Because
said
they behind me,
Right, so let me
disrespecting the way I feel about my life.
So many people feel like because honestly, when somebody honks their horn at me, sometimes I do feel like what the fuck, but I don't want to do it. It's
I
you're
honk my
more
shit back.
likely
I honk my shit back.
you're more likely to die from road rage than somebody bump you at the club. Motherfuckers is killing niggas die from road rage every day, B.
what I'm
It ain't worth
saying.
it. You have road rage though.
No, I don't swerve around niggas.
So many niggas gave me the middle. Remember the one time? I don't know if you remember. It was a long time ago. Some dude did some dumb shit, and we pulled up to the side of him, just I guess to look at him. And then instead of him knowing we pulling up and like reciprocating our mad energy, he started bouncing around like trying to be funny and shit. Cause he was just like, yo,
Oh, yeah,
it's
the
not
white
that
dude.
serious.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I treat it. Like, okay, I'm mad because he was drawing, but it ain't worth losing my life. I tell my girl every day, even though you're not the one causing the road rage,
Yo,
like
women
they're
got,
raging.
Women got the worst.
But we all do. What
Yeah,
you
we
just said is road rage.
No, but I seen.
But I know
chicks
what you're
like-
saying. But,
But-
you're feeding into
Right,
it.
because by the time like
I'm not feeding
no,
into
no,
it.
but
You are, because
They
then
was
what if they
feeding
shoot
into
you
it.
for
right,
giving the middle
you
finger?
stop your middle finger and then the motherfucker be like, what?
What?
He turns around, be like, what you say?
Not even just shoot. Remember the dude
Oh,
who killed
yeah,
the
he
girl?
killed the girl in the
he
car,
Just,
yeah.
He shot her
For
from
sticking
his
up the middle
car
finger.
in the highway. Her car was here. His car was here. I don't know what she did. She cut him off or something. His car was here. He shot her from his car
not funny.
to her car, and she died. So it's like I be telling my
That
girl,
is
I know
crazy.
they make you pissed. For some reason, being in a car and somebody does something to you, it makes you bubble. Because sometimes it gets me too, and I be like,
Because
it's
they
not
wouldn't
worth it.
do it in the mall.
And
If
I
like
think
if they was
that's why you
behind
get
you
upset.
in the mall or in the store, excuse me, or walk by you, but
Yeah.
in the road, they're like,
But you know why people do it in their car? And you know, I'm gonna tell you why
It's like
road
the
rage is
internet.
crazy though too. This one lady was
up,
going to
man.
work, headed to my job, and this guy cut him like he did something like she accidentally cut in front of him on accident, and then she's like, I'm sorry, but the dude was just being on extra like F you and she stuck her finger up like this dude followed her to the job. Then on top of that, he was on the road again the next day at the same time and followed her again. And she had to call someone on the phone like, yo, it's this guy. And I know it's the same guy from yesterday. So she went to the job. The next day after that, he followed her again. So
that nigga's
yeah,
weird.
so she said, come all the way to the job and I'm gonna have the cops waiting here, and they locked him up. That road rage is really serious because
Yeah.
people are like, that mentally hurt him so much. Like, who the fuck does she think she is?
First of all, driving is like, but if you don't want to believe it or not, it's mentally stressful.
It is.
Because
you're in control of your life
driving-
at every
you're in control of
second.
your life. You're driving fast as shit. Like you have to stay at this speed, and there's people behind you. Like you can't just like if you're walking in the mall, you can just stop, sit down. Psh, you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
driving, like you have to literally slow down, make sure nobody. It's a lot to think about while you're driving. You know what I'm saying?
You saving your life at every moment you're
Every
driving.
moment
You're in control
you're,
of your life.
You're
You're
controlling your life.
saving your
You're,
life. So motherfucker, cut that shit off. Hey, bitch. But that's how niggas think. But it's like, don't feed into that shit. A nigga will kill you. I tell my
no,
girl.
I no, for real, it was this crazy white dude, right? And this is a true story. So, I forgot what happened. I don't know if he honked at me behind, like I was at the light. He honked at me, so you know what I mean. I stuck my middle finger, or whatever. So we started talking shit, like you know what I mean. Like I'm like, yo, whatever, fuck you, whatever. So then this motherfucker pulls over. You know what I mean? So I pull over too. So I get out, I'm on the phone with my babe, whatever. So she like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker talking shit. Da, da, da. He get out the car, he walk up to me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. What the fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? I forgot what he was talking about.
He UFC the fuck out you.
Nah, it was just a crazy like he was like a
DDT.
redneck dude.
DDT. This nigga D got DDT'd on 95. He DDT'd the fuck out your ass. Hey, nigga, take this.
He had the camouflage dad hat on. You know what I mean? Like, he probably
Oh,
had
that nigga was ready to
anything.
go. What's up, boy?
Yeah, so you know what I mean? He talked a little shit. I took a little shit back to him, but he hopped back in the car. I was back in the car, but it was just like, it was that serious.
But
to the
that's
point where-
dumb. You
But
know
that,
that's
you know
dumb.
what? You know that was dumb
Stupid.
because both of y'all bitched up.
That was dumb.
And that was
Yeah.
crazy. But I'm gonna tell you how I know that shit's crazy because now that I'm thinking about it, I had road race to the fullest one time. And this is when I had my old car. This dude was drunk. I remember I told Steve, this dude was driving on a turn and he bumped me. He had a truck. He hit my car. I'm like, damn, did this nigga bump my car?
No, I didn't know that.
Like, and you don't, you know, like you be like, cause
What, he
it's,
try to bump you off the road on some
I
fucking
mean, we was both turning and he
GTA?
accidentally hit me. But the thing is, I'm like, all right, we got to pull over to see what's going on. So he kept going. So I'm not getting out my car to check to see what's wrong. I'm chasing you.
Right.
You don't want to stop.
Right.
So then we
right.
got at the light. It's that light right there by, it's UD.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I think you
Yeah.
told
And then
me.
it's
Shit
TGI
get real.
Fridays. So I'm at the light. I park in a slant. I skirt in front. I'm right here, and I'm in his window. I got out my car. I'm banging on his glass window.
Yeah, you
like
told me that.
punching this shit. I'm like, get out the fucking car. I'm calling him all types of names. You pussy. He's sweating. His hands is straight on there. He probably was drunk as hell. So I thought I blocked him enough so he can't go by. He somehow swerved around, hopped in my car, followed him again. To the point where I was like, yo, I'm really being crazy because I followed him all the way down almost to Old Baltimore Pike.
He said I'm really being crazy.
But after it was done, I said, yo, Will, you crazy? Because what if I would have punched and busted his window open? I was so mad that who tell him what I would do? I could have just, he's so drunk, I could have beat the hell out of him.
Punched the shit out
Shit,
of him.
you
yeah.
you ain't know what you could have did.
He could have pulled out the
It
hand.
was-
And then he coulda put
I
him around
understand.
me.
I understand the situation.
Like, I gotta chill. Like, that's why
It's
I would
never
never,
worth
it's
it.
never, I would never do that
Never
again.
worth it.
Never.
And like the only reason why it's like I said it's never worth it because y'all both in a car. There's never gonna be a way to say who's at fault. You're never in immediate danger. Now, granted, if somebody's in the car trying to run you off the road, you got your family in the car, that's different. But just because a motherfucker may bump your car or hit you, I tell my girl every day, I'm like,
driving
yo,
too
that
slow,
shit is
like,
not
what are you talking about?
worth it. Like it's just not because a motherfucker is easy. For some reason, I don't know why. Obviously, y'all just gave me two examples. Even y'all that aren't even people that get road rage got road rage
We
before.
did.
So think about the people who already fucking hate their life or got a bad day or just got fired. Niggas get more fired up it's like the internet because you can get fired up without consequences.
Right.
So once the consequences happen, you are already fired up. You end up like the dude who killed that girl. I'm sure that's not even his character, but he got so fired up. He was already in that fired up character.
And he was just like, you little, and then it just so happened. Now you spending your rest of life in prison because I know they caught the guy.
Oh, they called him. Well, he turned himself in.
Right, because he probably felt bad. Like you said, he got caught up in the moment, and he probably like, I don't know what's gotten into me.
Yeah.
And then like, so I mean, it's crazy. Like I always told, like me and my girl, I was like, yo, I'm gonna chill on doing that road race stuff. But even now that I do it so much, she does it. It's like it's
Yeah.
like a reaction. Like if she sees me calm down, eventually she'll calm down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard because we're used to both doing it. I'll be like, yes, like today I did it. I was like, oh, what, you just gonna cut me off?
Yeah. I don't
Like, but it's not worth it. It's like
It ain't worth
only thing
it.
I worry about is like, oh my goodness, man. Like you know what I mean?
Drawing. I'll
Like,
say
come on,
something
man.
like that, but
I'm
to
like
myself.
I'm like, oh Lord, these people was crazy.
But I got to count on myself to
Calm it down.
like know how to protect myself when somebody do something dumb. I got to be aware.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just never worth it. I was saying to my sister because me and my sister had the same conversation on Tuesday. I was like, the thing is, if I bump somebody on the side of or down the street, if I'm beefing with somebody, I got an idea if he has a gun or not. Now, of course, he can hide it and shit like that. More than likely, you can see it. Unless he got a big ass shirt on, you can usually see what you up against. When you in a car, you just like the dudes who put up in a pickup. We just Because I remember when they first pulled up, I kind of was walking towards them like, what's up? Like thinking. But then when they pulled up the bed, I'm like, whoa, never mind. Like you just never know what somebody got when they're in a car. Right. So it's never worth it. One, because motherfuckers get so much madder in a car. And two, just because you just don't know. These motherfuckers have a gun and shoot you. And maybe they don't turn themselves in. And they just speed the fuck off and never get caught. It's just,
yeah, I mean, so it's definitely not worth it. So all I'm saying is for all you crazy bastards out there that got crazy road rage, including myself, it's not worth it. People are crazy. Don't do it.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
So I was thinking about some shit. So I guess to jump on, I guess in a relationship aspect, or maybe not, just period. You ever heard of the slogan like, you never know what you got until it's gone?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So they be, you break up with your girl or you cheat on your girl and then she break up with you and then, you want her back, and then they be like, oh, see, you never know what you got till it's gone. Or you hit her up like, yo, like, what's up? Let's get back together. And then she like, see, I told you, you never know what you got till it's gone. And I'll be thinking like, bitch, it ain't about me not knowing what I got till it's gone. It's about just a pride aspect. Like, damn, you broke up with me. I want this. Now it's like a video game again. It's like trying to bag you all over again. So I think that you never know what you got till it's gone is bullshit. I think if y'all get back together, you probably gonna cheat on her ass again.
I agree, but I think the term is abused.
It's abused.
I think what it means is you don't ever know what it's got till it's gone is when she break up with your ass and she done it before and you think you got a chance to get that shit back. And she be like,
are we talking about? You talking about relationships?
That's about relationships.
You're not talking about like.
Not talking about relationships.
You're not talking
like
about
a family member
okay,
died.
Okay.
Or
We talking about
like
relationship.
A family member, I get it. You could be arguing with your fam. Y'all not because even then you knew what you had. Yeah. You just at that moment you was just mad at them. Right. And if they happen to die, it's fucked up. Right. But it's not like you didn't know what you had. You knew you loved them.
So as guys, right? I guess that term is real because I had a situation where I was dating this girl when I was young. I was younger. Had this girl, she was bad. And I liked her a lot. I did, but I just felt like it was always more. I had to always do all this extra shit. I was fucking with other bitches and all that. And I remember she told me specifically, don't fuck with my one friend because one friend a whore and I hate that bitch. Mm-hmm. But what that nigga do?
Did it anyway.
As
a real nigga should.
As a real nigga did it. It was banging.
Hey,
but
it.
The fact is, once she found out, found out though, I tried to get her back. Because we broke up for some other shit, but I tried to get her back. When I tried to get her back, she was like, nah. And then she's like, fuck you anyway. I heard you fuck with my friend. Boom. And at that moment, I was like, damn, that saying is real.
Nah, because really, if you really, you knew what you had, you thought it was worth risking it.
But then sometimes I think it just depends on where you at. Because sometimes you think you know, but then you might be like, for those who don't realize, you might be like, but damn,
you know what you.
She did all this for me. Like damn, I missed it. Because sometimes we be thinking with our dicks, not thinking logically. We be like, yo, I just want to fuck.
You knew, maybe your dick didn't know, but you knew what you had.
Nah, my dick didn't know.
Yes, what I'm saying, your dick didn't know.
Yeah,
but you knew. But at the end of the day, it's your job to control your dick. If you really think, let's put it like this. Let's say the world was full of Beyoncés. I mean, the world was full of ducks, and there was one Beyonce. And you had that Beyonce, you would not cheat on her. If you knew there was no chance you would get a better girl, you would not cheat on her.
True.
So let's not get it fucked up. Niggas know what they got. That whole you don't know what this guy's going is bullshit. It's just deep down in your side. You know, maybe if we break up, I might be able to get somebody cuter than you or just as cute.
Porn does a lot of because at the end of the day, you might have the baddest chick, but when it comes down to sex.
You know there's a chick that do more.
Porn.
You know it's a chick. You know it's maybe girls that look better. So you like it's worth maybe risking it.
Because you see ugly chicks that do shit. You seen the baddest chicks that do shit, that do different shit. Porn is the fucking devil. Look, somebody sent me an inbox on that's why we gotta get them videos, the T-shirt with the Addams Family hand, because that hand is important. Once you put the hand down, got the control. But yeah, so yeah, so I was on Facebook.
I think it's cool. But go ahead.
I was cool.
This nigga serious about that deal. He brought this up a couple podcasts.
Yeah,
yo, this nigga want that hand.
Yeah, because I was watching a couple joints and niggas did that. But
that nigga really wants that shit. Like, for real.
Petitioning for that shit. That nigga throwing his bait out.
I do that shit myself.
Throw the bait out. Okay.
But yeah, so basically, what was I about to say?
Facebook.
Oh yeah, somebody sent me a picture of these chicks just showing their titties, like a compilation of bitches with nice ass titties, and I'm like, yo, you really fucked up my day. I was cool. Now I feel like I either need to
fuck
Find a chick
something.
with some big titties or jerk off.
But that's back to what I was saying earlier when I was saying, I like the past 2 days, I was telling you, D, I gave up chicken and beef. Like, I'm trying to just do pescatarian. Like, I'm 2 days in. Who knows about, but I'm 2 days in, and I salute that. Like, I appreciate that. He was like, damn, he tried it before. It was hard. And, then, he gave in. I was like, sometimes it's about, fighting temptation. Like, that's what Lent is, giving up something and just saying, for that
That's
period of time. I'm not gonna do
evolving.
it. So you're right. So it's like, that goes to, like, if you really, know what you got. It's just sometimes people think this thing that I'm risking it for at the moment is worth it. Because like I said, if you got $1 million and you get you got to spin you can either spin the wheel and on one it's 10 pieces. One piece is 10 million, the rest of the pieces is bankrupt. You're not spinning a wheel. It's not worth losing that $1 million. It's just not gonna do it. Just like if you got a Beyonce and everybody else is ducks, you're not gonna risk it. But the reason why people risk it is because they know there's other girls out there. So if you really,
Is it social media?
it's just period. It's just period.
People are crazy though. People gonna take risks. It's
I
funny
don't
you
think
said
it's
that shit with
period.
Take
the
risks.
I think
people-
40 years ago, I don't think it was like that, bro. I think you knew it was in your
But then
your
you gotta say
reach.
TV because TV did it because people started seeing on
Started seeing
maybe
on
back
TV.
before it was even TV
Or
or even
even-
only suing your town. But even then, if I got Britney, but I know there's a
Or,
Tatiana.
No,
or if you
or-
went
or-
to a party in another town.
or like 60 years ago, like or 80 years ago when they had them little saloons, them little
so what you,
joints.
so what you saying?
You
Cheating
just-
always been.
It's always been around.
You is always seen other
It's just
things.
It's just that they probably didn't do it as often. But them niggas was getting their show, yeah. People taking big risks. I want to ask you a question. I saw it on Instagram, but it's kind of based on the topic. So if it was a wheel that you had to spin, like as you brought up the spinning the wheel or spinning
Yeah, I
whatever,
seen it. Mhm.
yeah. So you spin the wheel, and it has money on there. It has 5 billion, 10 million, 100,000. Everything is over nothing lower than 100,000. But it's one spot on there that says if you land on this, it's blank. You got to get shot in the head. Would you spin that wheel?
No.
Spinning the fuck out of it.
Oh,
you got one shot. You only miss your chance to blow. Okay, it's
I
10.
must not have caught what you said.
It's a wheel with 10 slices of pizza.
Okay,
Every slice of pizza is over $100,000.
but one.
One is shot in the head.
Yeah. So if you land on that, you got to get shot in the
So
head.
it's only 10%. You
Yo,
got a
this
10%.
nigga Will
You got
crazy.
10% shot.
That
You
fucking
got a
shit.
10% shot of getting shot in the head. But now, it wasn't even.
Nah.
For me, it wasn't even a thought.
I wouldn't
like
do it.
looked like the shit. No, let me show
And
you.
it, and,
dog.
it, and, and it was crazy because the caption was literally "Get rich or die trying." Get rich or die trying. Like that's something I couldn't do.
Bro, look
I
at
don't
that
even
shit.
want to think
This
about
what it is. Look, you got all these chances, and then just this one.
I'm landing that
All the
shit.
time,
Nigga, I'm hitting a
everything
billy,
is the
nigga.
same size.
Right.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't know what 1 out of 8 is. I don't know what percentage that is, but they all the same size block.
God
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
It's like
I'm
15,
I'm spinning
15%.
that shit. Like I'm spinning the fuck out of it.
I see. I as much as I want to, you gotta ask. It's gonna be that one chance, nigga, that it land on that
I mean,
red.
it's one chance that you'll never ever come
it's
up in life.
yeah, it's no different than you get on the road.
We wouldn't get on.
You are scared.
You're scared.
If you like shit, but you don't go to the store and buy it because you like it, you get shit you love. You go to the roller coaster, you can ride a roller coaster and risk your life because you love it. You
And
love that
there's
thrill.
No payback for it. The only
Nothing.
payback you're getting is just a spike in
And that's
adrenaline.
why we gotta go to Six Flags and Brock and Brand talk free. Like, yo,
Yeah, I
Nitro.
got free tickets.
Because, you know what I
we
mean?
can go whenever y'all want.
Do you?
For me, I got season pass.
Where you trying to go?
Him and his girl.
Whenever.
Girl.
We gotta go.
Let's go.
I
Let's
already
go.
went, but I'll go
We
again.
next weekend. I don't give. I
No,
can,
I'm
it's free.
serious. Plan it.
Bro, I don't give a fuck. It is free for me. I don't have to pay $1. So whenever y'all got this, y'all
No.
want y'all scrounge up your money.
Nigga,
It's free for
You
me.
tell
I'm
me.
ready.
You tell me. You tell me.
So
But
that don't
anyway.
matter. Yeah, like a Saturday or something. We can do like.
But we got
later on.
a brand talk free and be like, yeah, Nitro. We got like.
But even then, like that
Arturo.
shit, is like some.
You probably wouldn't get on.
You wouldn't get on it.
Like that joint that be flinging people all the way up in the air and coming.
Where it's
down
kind of
and-
like skydiving because you getting close to death a little bit. Like you getting like it ain't this ain't supposed to be
it's
happening.
it's a 30%, it's a 40% chance I could die up here.
No,
Skydiving?
40%, like 5,
It's
like 1.
It's skydiving.
Yeah, dog.
My man, you relying on a fucking parachute.
I know what you're saying, but it's been tested millions and millions of times. I know in your mind you may be thinking it's 40% chance, but I'm sure the chance is like points. Like if you compare the people that died compared to the people that didn't die, I'm sure the chances is
I got you. But you know how
0.0000000.
savage we are to the point where we're like, this shit is this shit is proof. You know what I mean? Like
we
you're
just
not
be
gonna
testing
die.
life on the
You know
low.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we
that's
just be
that's
testing
crazy as
on the
fuck.
low. Like that's what I'm saying. God just testing. Y'all just testing death every day.
Yo.
Niggas is and but sharks waiting for a mother. But,
You gotta sign a waiver.
I don't know. It's at the aquarium. Like like my niece was. She's like
It's probably
5.
big enough to where you can't fall.
But it's almost impossible to reach. No, it's skinny. It's skinny enough to where when you walking across it,
Somebody.
your shoulders, both your shoulders, is touching both sides of the net.
no, cause the net is big to where it's like
No,
You know what
the
I mean?
net is small. There's just another net underneath it, like
Okay.
like you know how the net be at like
But
like
still,
if
it's
you-
still crazy
It's still
risky.
like so fucking risky.
Right.
So on some shit, a nigga, it's easy for if that net break is over.
If the net break, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they made
I
the
mean,
net to the point
yeah, it
where
has
it
to
won't
be,
break.
It has to
just
be
like they
a
make the
couple events
wood
to make it
on a
happen,
roller
But
coaster.
you're still risking it to the point
You
where
risking it.
you
Walking
had
Dead
to-
comes on Sunday.
Fucking dead. No, that's the marathon.
Oh,
I don't think it starts in football season. It's October.
Edge just going back and forth. Like, what type of shit you gotta be
that,
on?
that
to
nigga
do that?
unicycles the shit out of everything. Trust me, that nigga been unicycling probably for 5-8 years. Like you don't just say I'm a unicycle on the World Trade Center.
I'm saying, but they be on the edge of like a
Right, because they
skyscraper, bro.
practice on like
You're not-
strings, nigga. In the circus, them niggas unicycle
Man,
on a
How
string.
many times you walk down the steps and almost fell? Like you,
But I
understand-
wouldn't do it. That's not my craft. I don't want to practice that shit. That's
Right.
dumb.
I got
That
you.
nigga practice like that's his job.
I got you.
He probably goes to shows and get paid for it, which is dope. But
Dog, if you taking a piss in a bathroom using a urinal, is a nigga allowed to speak to you while you pissing?
only
Only if they got the block.
no.
Nah, dog, don't fucking talk to me. Like,
Only-
ask me hi when I
And
go
then- and
wash
if
my
he's-
hands.
Look, if they got the block and if
Right.
Like, hey, yo, what's up, Steve? I say, what's up? I
Right,
don't
but
know who you are. I'm just saying,
don't
what's up?
pull up next to him and be like, yo, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? And
Don't-
then,
yeah.
one time, dog, I was in high school. And I was on the basketball team, and I had to take a shit before practice. And I was taking a shit, and we had like a bunch of like little assistant coaches that was kind of coaches but wasn't coaches. And I'm sitting here taking a shit, and this motherfucker is standing outside my stall having a full fucking conversation with me. Yes, and I'm like, dog. And I'll tell you his name off air, but I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Like he's having a full conversation with me while I'm taking a shit.
And he knows you're taking a shit.
Yes, he's talking to me. And I'm like, yo, you shouldn't be able to talk in the bathroom until we get to the hand washing station.
Yeah, right.
Like, don't talk to
Because
me.
it's uncomfortable for me. Like, why
It's
are you
not
talking
that
to
important
me?
unless you're telling me the building's on fire or there's a gun-wielding fucking gunman in the building. What is that important to talk?
the chick from
That's
the back.
fine, because that's probably my homie.
Yeah, and y'all
Like, our-
having fun. Y'all not
Now,
just,
but what about when, like, I've never done it this way. I've never ran a train this way. But what if you got your dick in her vagina? Would you let a nigga come put his dick in her ass? So like she on top of you riding you, your dick is in her vagina, and a nigga come and he gotta straddle you. Because he got to put his legs around your legs
To get in.
get behind her to put his dick in her butt.
I'm cool. Don't do that.
I'm about to say because that mean our balls probably might touch each other.
It's a chance.
It's a chance our balls touch, bro.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, for me, it's if you run a train with etiquette.
Right. I get hit. You
I
get
get
hit
hit
from the back.
Right, I get hit. You hitting it from the back.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
don't be all raw because I don't want to chew my dick up either.
the point where she can't suck my dick in a good way.
Yeah.
Unless she just a beast who just take it.
Right.
Take
And
it.
it's rare.
And
Right.
it very rare.
So what else y'all niggas got?
yeah, I
going
think
on?
it's crazy, man. I mean, you know, we just gotta let niggas
What's
know,
going on
like
in this world?
I
Charleston.
wanna-
That's Charleston shit, crazy, man. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, we talk about that Charles and shit. Let's talk about the NFL a little bit. We ain't talk
Okay.
about that shit. I know
Let's get it.
football
Listen,
season's coming
Le'Veon
in.
Bell ain't signed yet. Listen, he trying to. I don't know. Who
Oh, he
he's-
didn't sign?
I think he's looking at these NBA
Oh.
contracts.
What do you mean
like,
he didn't sign?
Le'Veon Bell didn't
They
sign.
want to sign him for 1 year franchise for 12 years, but he's like, I don't want that.
For $12 million.
Because he feels like he's the best running back in the league.
He-
And
arguably
they
he
seen,
is, yes.
they signed Antonio for one of the best wide receiver contracts in the league. Steelers they're not the Giants. They're not the Rams. They don't have tons of money to the point where, you know.
Le'Veon's not durable enough. He doesn't deserve that.
He
big
has
contract.
right, but that's what top five.
No.
Le'Veon
No.
Bell-
Jordan Howard. He missed the first 4 games of the season, and he
Bro,
was the
for
number
the
3.
Bears.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
There's every year there's a great running back. In basketball, is every year a new great player?
Melvin Gordon.
Is there a new great player in
Okay,
basketball
but
every
there's
league?
10 wide receivers, so pay me like one of the elite wide receivers too.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You just don't have enough.
Odell Beckham's getting paid elite. Antonio Brown
Is he? He's fighting for it.
Only team that
Didn't he have to fight for
the
it?
only team that knocked the Steelers out was who?
But look,
The one
D,
that won
D,
the
I feel what you're
championship,
saying,
bro.
but you gotta come with
feel me?
facts because 2 weeks ago you
What
were saying
facts
they
am I not coming
you
back
were saying
with?
they wasn't paying Odell, so now they are paying Odell.
No, I'm saying
They're not paying Odell.
I'm saying Odell wants one of the top
and
contracts.
they said no.
Okay, but that's because they didn't make
They
it to
gonna
where
tell
the Steelers
every-
made it to.
because you know who the people who are. You know the people.
That's
who
why I can't wait to football
Listen,
season. I'm going to
D.
eat then.
Harden's a point guard. Technically, he's a shooting guard, but he's a point guard. He's nowhere near a small forward. No, he's not small
Hold
forward.
on,
so I'm not
who's
letting
the
you-
first guy you named?
Antetokounmpo. He is a small
Antetokounmpo.
forward, I guess technically.
Are you talking about
Paul
for the
George.
Giannis, he
For the
plays
Bucks,
shooting guard,
yes.
but I'll let him take
Paul
it.
George.
Okay.
But now it's getting fringe. Like Paul George isn't even close to those three people you just named.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi, LeBron, KD. Antetokounmpo's a shooting guard. I'm not letting you get that.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying in basketball, and the reason why football you can't just demand a contract is because there's a lot of people that are close to you. So right, I think Le'Veon Bell's the best running back in the league, but there's 8 people that are close to him.
He's saying that he should get more than 12. He should get at least 15, 20.
But the thing,
Dog, he saves Ben Roethlisberger.
the thing is, but the
And he's
NFL is
gonna
just
ha-
NFL is
Are
getting
you
the minimum.
naming facts or are you naming what you
No,
saying?
I'm naming facts.
Well, what's what the
If
facts
Odell
is?
can't get 12, you think a nigga that don't get burned can get 4? No, that's not how it happens. There's 14 with 707. So there's how many people are on the field at one time?
In football?
14? 11. So there's 22 people that start.
Right.
Some of them don't
And
even
then
get
there's
4.
44
Some of
people
them
on the
probably don't
bench.
even get 4 million. Some of them don't even get 4 million a year. So what I'm saying is in football, as a businessman, they're looking at it like, if I'm not gonna let one player juke me around and tell me I gotta pay them anything. Now, if you just quiet and I pay you based off of just what you do, then I'm gonna pay you. But once you get Odell saying, nah, I deserve this. Then you get Julio, I deserve this. Antonio Brown, I deserve. In football, it's just so many great people. If once you give one up, everybody's gonna start.
And that's what
Eli's
hap-
gonna be
that's
like,
what-
nigga, I got 2
that's what
championships.
started happening with
I
them-
deserve.
Defense or something.
You can't just play hard and be the best. Football, you can play hard. Think about James Harrison. I mean, he big and strong, but a lot of it is, or Ray Lewis. A lot of that was just their heart. Like they just
Ray
had,
Lewis was the
it
truth.
was
He
just
had
his
that crazy
heart.
heart.
You know what I mean? And of course, he was willing to learn defenses and things like that. But it's like it's just all about like football. Is just not as much skill, and motherfuckers can't demand shit. Especially if these owners like we ain't gonna win a Super Bowl. I mean, fucking Tom Brady's got fucking Brandon Cooks. You seen the one tight end they got? The dude they drafted that had 130 yards in the preseason. They always just get a nice ass motherfucker.
Somebody crazy and not that's
Who's
true.
who's the fucking running back that they got? Gillisley, the dude who's getting all the touchdowns for the Bills last year. The dude who was stealing all of Sean McCoy's touchdowns.
or something? No.
The Gillisley dude who was the goal line. The person who had Odell, he wasn't the fantasy guy last year.
And you know
the
what I
wide
think-
receiver guy was Julio.
I think that's why you could do fantasy football for for football better than basketball because it's so much.
Yeah.
You got a big range of who you can pick.
Yeah.
And then you never know who's gonna have a breakout game in
Because there's a
football.
lot of people with breakout games. In basketball, it'll be like if you don't got either if LeBron snapped that night and KD snapped that night, if you ain't got one of them, you ain't gonna win.
Right.
Football, there could be a lot of people that snapped.
It's a lot of people who snap. And also too, while basketball is you ain't playing unless the starter not playing or they get injured. In football, they'll just twist somebody in.
Yeah, dog. Because I mean, like I said, you had LaShawn, you had the dude, DeMarco Murray. It's because I think the Titans gonna be good this year. I think they're a young team, and I think that's gonna run it. Of course, the Raiders are gonna be one of the best.